Hi and welcome on this video where we will learn how to put an app on the iOS App Store, so for Apple phones. In order to do that, you should have followed the tutorial that explains how you should test your app on your own iPhone, because when we did this tutorial, we created certificates that we need to put the app on the App Store. So you should have followed the tutorial, and if you remember the tutorial, it's all about following a wizard where certificates are created. When you have done that, you are ready to create a version of your app to distribute it for Apple stores. So you do you have done that, you have created these certificates, and now you select in NetBeans the name of your project, and you right click on it. So these steps, I should say, should be done from a Mac computer. So if you are watching this from a PC, you're going to be able to create your app in Apple version, so you can do the following steps, but you will be blocked at a later step when we're gonna upload this app to the store. So maybe you can follow on a PC, but for the last step you should find a friend or a relative that would lend you an Apple Mac in order to upload the app. But for the moment, everybody can follow. So you right click, or on a Mac you do control click on the name of your project, and then you select codename 1, the menu, and then send iOS. This should be, yes. So if you see that, it means that you did not yet follow the wizard where the certificates are being created. If this is grayed out, as it is the case for me here, it means your app has no certificate for the app. So let's go back. I'm gonna create these certificates for this app, and I'm going back here. Back. It literally took me less than 2 minutes to create these certificates that I needed. I simply right-click on the project, clicked on Properties here, and then I moved to iOS here on the left, and then I clicked on Generate and followed the steps. What I just needed was the name of my account on iTunes Connect and my password, and then I just followed the steps until until my certificates were generated. And then what you see on screen here was filled in by the wizard, by this thing here, automatically. So that was very easy, and again, that's one of the strengths of this tool. It does it for you. You don't have to struggle. And now I can right-click again, select codename 1, and then this option becomes available. So I'm gonna I'm gonna click on it just to show you. I've actually created a version of this app in advance. So but I'm gonna do it again with you. So basically what happens now is that your app in the Apple version is being created, and the way it works is that what you did in NetBeans is sent to the Codename 1 website, and then you can log into the Codename 1 website and find your app ready to be distributed. So you have to log in to Codename 1, click on Dashboard, and here you see I've built many apps. Oops. But that's the one which is being built at the moment. I'm gonna pause the video because Apple apps can take, let's see the previous one I built. Well, we don't see Apple versions there, but I know it takes a couple of minutes, so I'm gonna pause and come back here in a minute. The app is still being built, but I like to add a comment here. So when you are on a free version of Codename One, you have 100 credits per month, which means that each time you send an Android build, it's 1 credit being used, and you have 100 of them. But for iOS, when you send or when you build an iOS version of your app or a Windows Phone version of your app, it takes more credits each time you do one build. I don't have the figures exactly, but I think it's like 7 or 8 credits for each iOS build you do. So that means that after about 15 build, you have exhausted your credits for the month. So you should be very careful not to send too many builds of your iOS app. You should actually test your app as much as you can on the simulator on your computer before sending the iOS build. Okay, so I pause again the video now. Welcome back. So it took 4 minutes and 30 seconds to build the app in the iOS version, and when we click on this build, we see that a couple of files have been created. So this is the application in itself, and we can download it. Let's put it on the desktop. So the name is very complicated, but it should have an IPA extension, and we can download iTunes. So this is this is the icon of your app. How do I save this? Oops. Yeah, I'm gonna save it on the desktop as well. And this icon is useful because you're gonna use it when submitting your app. So let's check the extension. It's a file that ends up with iTunes artwork, but it's a PNG file, so you could actually immediately add .png and save. So I have these 2 files, and that should be enough on my desktop. So now we have our app, and we want to distribute it. So in Google, let's go back to Google as if you were starting from here. You will just type iTunes Connect in one word and Apple. And when you do that, you find the URL that we need. And you should log in with your Apple developer account that you created before. You know, from previous tutorials, we had to pay $99 to actually get such an account. And there, well, I've already an app here, but I'm gonna create a second one. So you want to create a new iOS app. It's not for computers, it's for mobile phones. So you give it a name, and the name should be the one from your should be exactly the one from your NetBeans project. So I'm going to copy paste. You know, you see what I just did, right? I right clicked on it and did properties, and that's how I find the name of my app. So that's the name I put here. Version, you can put that's the first version of your app. So primary language would be English, and the bundle ID is the one here. You should have the bundle ID of your app available in this menu because we created a certificate for your app, and when you create a certificate, it puts the bundle ID, so the package name actually of your app, you know, the package name that we have to fill in at the beginning when you create a project. When you create a certificate for your app, it saves your package name on iTunes Connect, so you can just select it from the list. So you do that and we are ready to create the app. What's missing here? Why is it complaining? So what's the SKU? Does it want an SKU? Oh yeah, it wants like a unique ID. So I'm gonna write IO CODAPPS. I'm gonna use the same as the bundle ID, IO CODAPPS. My CV, my mobile CV. So, and then you can create it. Okay, so here you have much information to fill in and nothing very difficult. Most of it is optional, so you don't have to fill in everything. But if you forgot to fill in a field in this form, when you're gonna save your form, it will highlight in red the fields that you should fill in. So among all of these things, I would like to highlight how do you upload the file we got from Codename1 to the iTunes Connect website, to here. This is here. There is a field that says build, and it says submit your builds using Xcode. So Xcode is a software and we didn't use it. Or this, and that's what we're gonna use. So we click on application loader, and this will install a software on your laptop that will just upload the file to iTunes Connect. And this step can only be done on a Mac. If you have a PC here, that's not going to work. So I saved what they call the application loader. Oh, that's a huge file actually. We're nearly there, and we're done. So I'm gonna install it now. Okay, it's installing. And we have it here. So I click on it. Okay, so that's what we want. A tool that helps you add applications to the App Store. That's what we want. Next. Sure, that's fine. Install. So you need here to have what's the name of? I hope it's, yeah, that's the correct password. Okay, nearly there, finishing, successful, great. So we should have this app available. I'm not a Mac user, but that's where you should have it. Application loader in your application list. So we launch it. Accept. And this is where, again, that's a long process, but that's how you do it. And that's it. We just import our the file that we had downloaded to the desktop, that, you know, with the extension IPA. Where is that? It's here. Oops. Where is, yeah, here. So yeah, I had to select choose, not import. So we're good. Next. If it takes too long, I'm gonna pause the video here. Yeah, I'm gonna pause the video. And I meet you here when it's when we go to the next step. The process is going on, and we hit this window that suggests that we should choose install to continue. So I just do that, and this will install a very small software again on your Mac. So you do that just once, right? It's not for every app you create. That's just you do that the first time. I'm gonna pause the video again. Software finished installing, and we are back to this screen where our app is being uploaded to the iTunes store, and we're gonna wait for the thing to finish. I'm pausing the video again. So I was being stuck on this page for a very long time, and that seemed to be a bug. So I Googled for an answer, and it seems that the reason might be that I was doing this uploading from my business school, where there's a firewall, you know, these things that can control internet connections. So that might be the reason why I was stuck, and I'm trying now to do it from a different place without a firewall. So I just restart, I select the file of my app, and I just restart the process, and let's hope we won't get stuck this time. Okay, so this is exactly where I was stuck last time. Let's hope things get a bit different. I'm gonna pause the video and I'll let you know. Yeah, that was the issue. I just passed the step and my file has just been uploaded. So this warning is just an informational message. I think it doesn't blocks anything. But just to come back, the reason why I was stuck for so long on the verifying package, whatever, is because I was behind a firewall. So you should upload your app from a place like your home, or from a place where the IT department of the place has not put a firewall. So typically companies have firewalls, so try to do that from home. Okay, so thank you very much. And we'll just move back to the iTunes Connect account to verify that the app has been added. So it's here. And if we go to pre-release, yes, we have our app which is ready to be used. So when you have that, what you should do is simply add fill in the keywords here, add a support URL. So I would just add people who would like to contact me would just go to my website. If you don't have a website, well, you could use the website of an organization that you are affiliated to. If you don't, that might be an issue. I suggest you Google for an answer, because that must be the case that individuals without a website or URL must have been they must have faced this issue. And this is where you should put the description of your apps, the one that will appear on the store. So this is the app of presenting my CV, and you should get a bit longer than that. So what is very specific to the iOS store or the iTunes store is that Apple is very strict on the quality of your app. So you should really make sure that you are filling all possible categories before submitting the app. And then you will face a delay of, a time of a couple of weeks. It depends for everybody, but like 1 week to several weeks in order for your app to appear on the store. So it's a bit disappointing, but your app will end up on the store, and that's how I've just shown you the step to do it. So I stop there, and if I can go back to the recorder, I stop there, and thank you.